Hey, what's going on? So, really cool. This is my first time. Leo's here with me. What's up, Leo? Well, what I'm excited about, we're hanging out at Busch. Here's Amy. Say hello.
Hello.
Okay. This is awesome, man. This is the new reptile. Discover what is it called again?
Yes, the Lord Schiller Reptile Center.
Okay, very cool. I mean, this already just, I love being behind the scenes. This is crazy.
Well, if you remember, like, the old
Oh yeah. Go back to some earlier videos.
You could barely walk through.
And it's dangerous when dealing with venomous.
Absolutely. And so we really tried to learn from what we had over there and what we like to do.
Okay.
So we knew we needed more space, 100%. We wanted these viewing windows.
Let's see this.
So like, for instance, it's our copperhead here. We can look in and see where the snake is at before opening the door.
Perfect.
Just in case,
No
it's right by
surprise.
the door here. Yeah, we can look in there. We also...
But by the way, each is locked up here. I mean, there's a lot involved in this.
Everybody's locked, everybody's labeled. Venomous are labeled in addition to, and we even added extra just in case. There's a little play on these, so we added extra.
Gotcha.
And then all of these, we also have these dividers.
Yeah.
So, for instance, if we're gonna go in and clean the copperhead here, we can actually move her to one side, slide this over, have her contained without having to worry about pulling her out and just potential risk for danger.
Exactly. There's more chance of being bitten, having to remove the animal and stuff like that. So I don't see her on that side. Is it possible she's on
probably
this
on
side?
the other side then.
So these are also larger enclosures.
These are much larger, yeah.
Yeah,
There she is, but you see where she is. She's right there by the door.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So perfect. Having this window here really lets us know that, like, okay, be prepared. Take a step back when you open it up.
That's
so
awesome.
it's really been advantageous.
But this is from years and years of trial and error at the old spot, and we've got the herp stats going.
Yeah,
That's
and
really cool.
one of the first things that I learned when I started dealing with the venomous at the old facility, and this is one of those design flaws you don't realize till you try to put it into work. All of the biggest enclosures were on the top row.
Okay.
So anytime you're working with the biggest of your venomous snakes, or any of your big snakes, they were always, for me at least, up above my head.
Yeah,
and I'm trying to lift them up with a hook.
And it's heavy.
And you got this gravity, So we made sure that all of the big guys are on the bottom here, put the smaller ones up top. Of course, smaller ones are for our non-venomous collection also. I don't want anybody reaching up above them.
Gotcha.
So
you got pine snakes. And now years ago, I released some pine snakes from Busch Wildlife.
we can open this
let's
one if
see.
you like.
Yeah, let's see some pine snakes.
Yzma's one of our good educational ambassadors. She might still kind of hiss at you. Pine snakes are notorious for that.
Okay.
But
Let's see a pine snake, guys. This is actually a snake that I've yet to see in the wild in Florida, but they are an endangered species.
Can you find her?
Yeah.
She might be hiding under her rock somewhere.
Would it be okay
Yeah,
if
go
I
ahead. I trust you totally.
Yeah,
Like I said, she can be a little
I don't see
noisy
anybody around the
sometimes.
corner, right?
Well, let's have a look. Look at that.
It says she's here.
Look
Her
at that.
tag says she's here.
She's right there. Look at that beautiful snake, guys. That's a beautiful pine snake. Am I allowed? Oh, she's rattling her tail here a little bit. Yeah, would I be allowed to maybe?
Yeah, she's one of our educational snakes, so she should be fine with you.
All right, let's see.
This venomous?
No, I would never
That's why I'm asking.
be sticking my hand like this cavalier into a venomous snake, nor would Amy let me. Oh, look at this beautiful snake. So this is, I'm sticking here. This is one of the snakes that you guys use in education.
Yep. Her
And
name is
she's-
Yzma.
Oh, she's so cute.
Oops, sorry.
And when she was very young, we had her over in our hospital actually, so that she got lots of daily interaction. You don't see a lot of pine snakes in education.
No.
Because they usually don't have a great temperament for it.
That's fine.
And so this was a snake we had from a very young age, and so we just started working with her from a very young age, and she's turned out to be just a wonderful ambassador and something that, like you say, you don't get to see often.
Right, exactly. I would love. Oops, she's just a little bit reactive. This is so cool. Look at that beautiful coloration on pine snake, and that's of course because of where she lives. So the sandy soil. There's a little dark in there. This is a snake found in pine flats. That is
Very cool.
beautiful.
Gorgeous. I don't know what I smell like today.
Gorgeous pattern.
Yeah. That is awesome, man. I don't have many snakes at home. I have Colin, the coastal carpet python, so it's nice to get out and see some of the native snakes that Busch has right here. And from time to time, I'll get a call from you guys. Hey, we have some corn snakes. Do you want to release them? I release them around my property. It's wooded. I do sadly have some rodents there that could, the rat snakes, corn snake, rat snake. The name.
Do you notice I never call you to get a black racer?
Well, why?
Well, because I take all the black racers to my house.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm scared of the little lizards that get in the house.
And they eat
So they eat the little lizards. So whenever there's a black racer, I put them all in my yard.
Ah.
Because I'm like, you can help me out
It's so
here.
funny. Amy's afraid of lizards. Isn't that hysterical? Not afraid of snakes. But if it's got legs, God, look out. I'm not happy with that. That's so funny, man. It's everyone's got something. I know a doctor, a PhD, Dr. Marissa Tellez. I follow her on social media. She works down there in Belize with all the crocodiles down there, and she's terrified of birds. Doesn't like birds.
Oh, my mother's terrified of birds.
Well, so's my wife.
But she doesn't want them to fly at her and her to hit them.
Oh my God.
It's weird. She's like, I don't want to hurt them. I'm like, well, that's great. I appreciate it. But like, why are you, like, how many birds fly at you on a daily basis?
I was threatening on getting emus. I thought that Kate would like a pair of emus in the backyard. You know, birds as tall as you. No.
And we've got a rat snake here. We got another rat snake. Aztec's out on a program right now, so yeah, wow. You can lift up, or if you want to get into one of these, kind of bring out a rat snake.
Yeah, let's bring. We were talking about.
Yeah, so buttercream is a mutation. You know, she's a color morph.
Okay.
She's got albino to her, but so we'll grab Scar here. Scar's one of our great ambassadors, and this is what you would actually see out in the wild.
Right. This is what
Scar has kind of a cool story.
Do you see it? I don't see it.
Scar likes to really get
right
the rock and stuff, so I'm going to take Scar out.
All right, Scar.
What a beauty.
That is a large
what great
corn
color.
or rat snake. This is amazing. Now, Scar is a male or female?
One of my favorite animals here. I believe male.
Look at the pattern on the base.
But the name.
Oh.
Let's see here.
There's a Scar somewhere.
Yes, we have a Scar. There. Where's your Scar at?
Man, maybe Scar's
I
here.
know.
I mean, I do notice something odd with the spine here, but here it is.
There you go. You found
Right
it. I was
there,
looking
look
too far back.
Oh yeah, wow, that's big.
So that's the Scar that's there. So when Scar came in, Scar had been tangled up in a soccer net in someone's yard.
No way.
Somebody had put up a soccer net. Scar had gotten all twisted in there and actually had been there for so long, it had cut in. And Scar actually had internal organs on the outside of his body. Mm-hmm. And this goes back, it's probably been a decade ago now, honestly.
Get out of here.
And we did surgery. Of course, had to surgically remove the net. It was like grown into the scales. Put everything back in, sewed Scar back up. It was tons of medical care afterwards, supportive care. And at the end of it all, Scar did really well. We do have to manage that Scar because that tissue, of course, is softer. It's more vulnerable to re-injury. But he got so used to being handled by people, it just turned out to be a wonderful educational ambassador. And to really teach people, if you're going to have these things in your yard that aren't natural, wildlife don't know how to deal with them.
Right.
We usually remove owls and birds and things like that out of soccer nets, but it can also affect the reptiles as well.
And I think it's also good people hear this story because, as so many of the people that listen and watch this show are reptile lovers. Yeah. And they may not think that Busch does much with reptiles, but you guys take care of all native species of wildlife. So Scar has now become an ambassador. Has got a second lease on life. It would have certainly died. We even got a call, I believe, a few years back about a rattlesnake caught in a in
some kind of fencing netting sort of thing.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it does happen. I've actually had snakes get caught in nets at my house, so I've learned not to put the nets on the ground. It was actually a corn snake. So these animals just go about their business and then they get caught up in things, because they're attracted to human settlement because what else is attracted there? Rats, rodents, things that have adapted to living in close proximity to people. So if you see rat snakes or corn snakes, then you're in good shape because these guys are going to be watching out for you.
Thank you to all our loyal Patreon members out there who have helped to create an amazing reptile community online with us. This week's shout out goes to Siri Lupo.
And they keep these rodent populations down, which, as you know, rodents can spread disease. So it's really good that a snake like this is in your neighborhood. I load my house up with them. I love them. They're so
great.
Yeah. So this is really, really cool. Scar, what a cool.
Look at the pattern.
That's that corn
pattern on the base.
Yeah, that's that corn like pattern.
Now, would you agree too, if you had somebody who was really into reptiles, novice, looking possibly for their first snake?
This is it.
Corn snakes, ball pythons to me.
They're the ones.
They're the ones to go with. The corn snakes now, they come in so many different color morphs and everything.
Yeah.
There's one for every taste, if you will.
Yeah, that's right. One for every taste.
They're generally really easy, good keeping snakes, easy to work with.
To be perfectly honest, when I pick these guys, I've never been bitten even by a wild corn snake.
Oh, I have.
Have you?
I did.
I've never been
bitten. I know.
What did you do to the grizzly?
He was in the middle of the road.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, okay, come on. And I was trying to move him off the road.
Yeah.
And he was not going willingly. So I was like, all right, come on. And he just got one tooth. Just one tooth.
Wow.
But I was like, damn it.
No, well, that's all right. I mean,
you don't even need to do anything for that, right? It's just
no, there's no venom in it at all.
No. It was just it felt dumb.
Yeah.
It felt dumb more than I felt any pain.
Look how pretty. Look at how relaxed he is.
I love it.
He's such a great snake.
Yeah, that's an awesome.
There's a really good view there of his scar. He's just sitting really nice and still.
See that?
There.
That's deep.
It was. Like I said, there was actual organs exposed.
Wow.
So
that's what's so cool. So you guys took the time to save an animal that most people would just discard. Yeah, that's
well.
that's
What
really
I
cool.
really appreciated was, so many people, if they found this in their soccer net, they might have just decided to kill the snake or
Yeah.
leave it or just ignore it.
Right.
They actually cut their soccer net, which I know are not cheap, apart and brought us the whole section so that they didn't further injure him. And we get a lot of people who find animals that have fishing hooks, and I took the hook out before I got here. You know how painful that is?
Yeah.
Like, no, bring the whole thing with you. If you have an animal, don't try to do that. We can give them pain management. We can, with his
They have
case,
a
anesthetize them.
exactly.
So he can't feel it. We appreciate the help in getting the animal here, but always call, get an idea, or just think about yourself. You know what I mean? If I had something that was cutting off circulation, a part of my body, I'd prefer, some pain meds or to be asleep when you remove this.
Yeah, that's true. That is so true. So we'll put Scar back in.
Just more exposure. The more people know that you're here to do things like this
That's
for
it.
more animals, the better.
Well, and it's just so great when you find somebody who has compassion to an animal that so often people just really discard.
Right.
And I always love that, especially when there's kids involved, talk them up. Good job, you did this, you made this happen, and that's so
That's
important.
the rewarding part of your job.
That is.
Yeah.
It's the best part,
Anyone else we need to see in the back here, or should
Well,
we go?
I mean, you've gone through the corns. The indigo, you don't normally see the indigos out and about,
the
right?
indigos.
Let's go down to Blackberry
raised
down
some
here.
of
She tends to be a little
Blackberry,
less
that's a
snarky.
So we have been doing a lot of work. We raised about $4,000 in conjunction with St. Augustine Alligator Farm.
Nice. Oh my God, you
last
guys keep
year.
getting there.
Yeah.
We did
For
that
the indigo
for the
snake.
indigo snake.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, and this year we're gonna raise some money for McCarthy's Wildlife Sanctuary for his Nile crocodile. It really needs a better habitat, so we're gonna
cool.
raise for that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Mark's a
Good
great
job.
guy.
Yep.
And
Mark is another Palm Beach sanctuary native here. Let's see. Look at
wow.
this beauty
Wait.
right here. So, we have some visitors to the.
are they watching outside?
Yeah, so I'm going to gently take this indigo
They're
snake.
so shiny.
They are beautiful. So this is a juvenile.
Yeah, the Blackberry's our newest.
Wow.
He is so short.
Wow, that's pretty. We'll show the folks. Hi, you want to see an indigo snake? There you go.
It's so funny because to see one out in the wild is so rare to begin with, and then we have them here on exhibit. But again, they like to be elusive. As
Right.
you notice, she's in her little house, she's hiding. So to get to see one is really quite an honor.
Yeah, it is an honor, man. We have them throughout Peninsula Florida here, but I've yet to see one. It's our largest non-venomous snake.
Looks like she might be getting ready to shed.
I think
soon.
so, and she's being very good to me. Usually, as you know, they can get a little cantankerous.
Well, that's why we skipped over Jack's and we came to Blackberry. Blackberry's had a little bit more work
Wow, look at
with our education staff.
Very calm.
yeah, they're
very calm.
pretty cool. And this snake, if
So
it get close to 8 foot for sure.
So
It's a big
chill.
snake. That's awesome.
I don't know what you had on your arm there that scratched up, but she is.
That would
Iguanas.
be-
Okay, because she's just like, what is this?
What is that? Can I eat these?
What is this? This sounds
That
like
is
fun.
so cool. Oh my gosh, let me get her little container set back up here. Flip this around. This is really cool. I appreciate this, Amy. Well, I'd like to go around front and get an inside, get the shot of what the folks see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go check that out. I know you got some baby gators in there, and I think
do.
you even got a custom aquariums set up in there. Did you
Yes,
not?
we do.
Oh, I want to see that
Yeah.
for sure. Let's
We
go check
continue
it
to
out.
keep working on it.
Awesome.
After you, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
a brand new facility. I'm loving it. State of the art here.
We'll come around the front public side.
Yeah, so this is where you guys would enter. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So a little bit more room in here.
Yeah.
We've got our custom aquarium for our gators, and they are loving it.
No
That's
way.
great.
Look at that.
This is really cool because you
And
get
you
to
can
see.
see. Oh,
Yeah.
You get to actually
Look at
see just how much of them is above ground, or above water rather, and then there the rest of them.
well, and I love too. The second they go under, that nictitating membrane,
Yeah.
that clear island comes up,
Yeah.
and people can actually see it.
Yeah, that's a great. It's true. It's a great representation.
And to just
of
see
their
too,
anatomy.
also just how lazy they generally are. You know what I mean? They don't want to spend that much energy because they never know where their next meal's coming from.
That's
you know?
right.
So to actually see that they don't lay flat, the way they kind of dangle in the water.
Yeah.
And to see all their feet and
This
everything.
is a great way to see them.
Look at this guy over
I
here.
can't believe how good that looks.
How cute is that? Just hanging out.
Oh yeah, look at this.
What a beautiful facility, man. And
This is great.
a long time coming. I mean, just to see, they only opened up, I believe it was in October,
Yeah.
and here we are now, just a few months into a few weeks into 2024, and you're starting to get more of a flow and an understanding of how the new place operates. Huh?
We are, and we're also, we are hoping that what we're going to end up doing is actually building onto this. We have a grant with the state right now that we've applied for. We're just waiting to see if we get approved for it. And we would turn this whole thing into kind of like a swamp setting. So we black out the ceiling, bring in the sounds of the swamp, put in starry lights. Really cool. You can see behind you there, we've got this gopher tortoise.
That shows you the right down
and also the importance of prescribed burns and fires to our natural world. And then, the idea that you kind of stumbled across this kind of cabin in the woods and you look in all the windows.
Good stuff. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do a quick little follow-up on our friend Freddie, the American alligator that we moved just a few months back. And man, you're seeing all the reptiles here at Busch. There are also gopher tortoises and box turtles.
Well, right there's our little guys.
There you go, little babies.
So we got some little guys in here. They often bury down in the pine straw.
There's some right there.
And it's a little cooler today for us.
Yeah, so they're hiding.
They kind of hide, but then we got a box turtle, a gopher tortoise in there.
Well, let's see how Freddie's doing. Yeah. Freddie was up basking earlier. Do you think it's possible to kind of get out onto the grass on the other side, or?
Well, let's see where she's at. Possibly.
See. Let's go.
Freddie has been great because we've actually trained her in there. How we target train her to go into the tunnel to move her. So what we've had to do in here, because the enclosure is so large, is she now has a red ball that she targets. Awesome. So when we need to get in there and do any kind of landscaping, we'll toss the ball out. She knows to target that, and we'll follow it around the enclosure.
So speaking with Sarah earlier, one of your keepers, she's your head keeper?
Well, Coral's our animal care director.
There you go. So, just for my clarification, but yeah, she wants to do some blood drawing to be able to, and she was using target training for that, right? To get the animal to come up.
Yeah.
Awesome. This is really cool. So, again, check out their new educational amphitheater right over here.
Right across from Freddie's home.
Shout out to Land Rover Palm Beach for making this a reality,
I know.
That's pretty cool.
Well, you know what they're doing? So the Fortin Family Foundation, they help build it, and then Land Rover's sponsoring all of our programming.
That's amazing.
So we do 600 free programs a year to the public, and they're sponsoring 12 months of it.
You got to get them to get you a defender.
I'm working on that.
Yeah, man. We need a really hooked up defender to get out and rescue animals. Yeah, what do you think?
We climb through the fence here.
Let's do it.
And we'll walk around.
So this is really cool because this, more than anything, I think Amy has been a passion project for Amy, and that is to give Freddie a really cool habitat. And you've done that. This is like a slice of the Everglades, in my opinion.
This was a natural wetland that was here on the property. So all we did was, fence it in and turn her loose.
Look, there she is.
Oh, look at her right here. Look at her in this grass, just very calm and at peace. There you go. You might even be able to get up. Watch that fire ants there, buddy.
Yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, like
been there before.
You guys remember when we moved her here? We had to give her a little poke just to get out, but it all worked out good.
Though, it was so funny because just so many years she lived in basically a concrete jungle,
right.
concrete enclosure. And then when we moved her into the swamp at the old location, it kind of hurt my heart because we put her into the water. And for like 4 hours, she didn't know what mud was.
She was just wallowing.
So she wouldn't put her feet down. She just sat there. And then finally, once she figured it out, then it was like fair game.
Oh, that's so cool.
And so here, we gave her a little poke to get out because I think she's a little disoriented as to where she was. But then after that, the next morning, she was all over. You could see where grass was matted down. You could see tracks through the water. And that following day, we could not find her.
Oh, it gave you a heart attack.
It was like 2 hours. We had like 10 people in here. Oh no joke. Could not find her. And then we realized she was under a patch of grass and she was so well camouflaged and didn't care that we were there. It was just like the most heartwarming thing ever.
So she's got the security she needs. So this is great, Amy. I just want to say thanks, man. Thanks for all the hard work getting this place up and running, and thanks to the people that support Busch Wildlife.
Well, and thanks to you too. I mean, so many, Kamp Kenan followers come to see these animals and everything, and it's been a long relationship, and we're really appreciative.
We're about 20 years into this relationship.
I know.
I've been in Florida 20 years, and what's really exciting is there's some talk we can do a little Kamp Kenan exhibit here at the sanctuary. What would you guys think of that? If I brought some of my animals over, maybe to a special building that they have constructed to do such a thing? Let me know in the comments below. And also, if you guys would like to donate, go to bushwildlife.org and head on over there. Tell them Kamp Kenan sent you, and they'll keep doing great work for our reptile friends here in South Florida and Florida in general. Good
Yeah.
stuff. Thanks, Aim.
Thank you.
See you guys.